welcome to PPR Podcast number 173. My name is Paul Rudy. To my right is the star of the podcast and co-host of the Prep Picks Report, Mr. Bert Grossman. Bert, we have a very special guest. Can you please introduce him?
We do. If you're from San Diego football, no introduction needed. Mr. Eugene Rice from Lincoln High School.
Eugene joining us in the middle seat. Eugene, you're a good football player, and everybody knows it. Your first team all CIF. You're a good student. Everybody knows it. You have a 4.2 something GPA. 4.33 GPA. And yet, with those amazing statistics, it doesn't really speak to you because what you really are is an amazing human being, which we're going to get to. But to the adults in your life that have raised you, kudos, because you are a special young man, and it is an honor to speak with you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Because I was referring to his character. This young man, I heard a great story about you, Eugene, when there were Christmas cards. Coach Dunn was telling me the story about how everybody on the team got a Christmas card to go buy some Christmas stuff, and you gave your Christmas card to somebody who wasn't doing as well. Can you tell us that story, please?
Yeah, so it was a big thing. Me and Coach Dunn were the organization, and it was a thing to give out to take a child that's less fortunate on a shopping spree to Walmart. And the kid I was with, it was him and his two younger brothers and sisters. And the limit was $100 on the card, but he wanted to buy stuff. He wanted to buy some stuff for his mom as well. So whatever exceeded the limit, I just went ahead and put out my pocket and paid for it because I knew that that's what the kid really wanted for him and his whole family.
And then I'm told you had a couple bucks left over and you bought yourself a Christmas present. You bought a belt. Is that true?
Yeah. I had to buy a belt.
Well, that's amazing. And then, I mean, tell us about how do you excel at everything as well as you do?
I just put myself to the limit, sir. I think, the only person that's stopping me from reaching my goal is me. So I know if I keep pushing myself every single day, getting up at the right time, and exceeding in the classroom and on the field, I know I'm gonna get to my end goal.
Eugene, like Paul mentioned earlier, you have a 4.33 GPA. I know the answer to this, but I want to ask you so you can explain to people, because people like Paul and I just had 2.0s, and we thought you could only get a 4.0. And I understand it's weighted, but explain to people what you have to do to get a 4.33.
So what I do to get a 4.33, sir, I'm taking college courses, AP classes, and honors classes. The semester before this, I was taking AP Health and AP African American Literature. And in my AP courses, my college class. In my AP courses, I was taking AP History, English, Biomedical, which is like another form of forensic science. So I'm taking all those classes, and those just build up my GPA, along with my core classes that I have as well.
So Eugene, if you could get the grades up a little bit, you could have a GPA that is, what's your 40 time?
My 40 time is like a 5.2 right now. It's not the best. I feel like I can get faster.
Well, you're a lineman, for Pete's sake. I'm just saying, you have a GPA that is getting in the neighborhood of your 40 time.
Yes, sir.
Who can say that?
Yeah, I wish my 40 time was my GPA in high school. Man, I'd be in the Olympics. Lord. Eugene, I'm going to ask you this anyway. What do you think about, because I know you guys follow social media. I mean, the big thing is nobody in town wants to play Lincoln. And if you can't even get a scrimmage, you got to go out of state or go up north to get a scrimmage. What do you guys, I mean, I know the coaches get into it, and it's friendly banter, but do the players get frustrated by that you can't play anybody in San Diego?
It does get frustrating at times, considering that we always have to travel everywhere, and that's just more money that we have to pull out of our pockets. But I don't really know what to say. It is frustrating that no one from our hometown wants to play us besides our league games, because we do want to experience everybody else in our city. But also, we love the competition from the LA schools, Sacramento schools, because we love the work out there. So it's really not nothing at all.
Well, you better get used to being on the road, because you're on the road the entire year, aren't you, technically?
Yes, sir, we are.
Tell us about playing on that field last year and how dangerous that was. Play tackle football is a dangerous thing anyways, but to play on, I would have put a sign up saying landmines. I mean,
gets.
So I guess you're relieved to be on the road all season long, right? Because you won't get to see it, but the next generation of Hornets are going to be playing on a safer field next year.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the field was very dangerous. Like all our players would either get hurt or trip or fall, and then the turf would just always come up every time we were moving. So it is most definitely a relief that we won't be playing on that field because it's injury risk. So I'm glad that we're going to be playing at other stadiums, and also not just the stadiums, just like to experience what else is out there, like in California as well.
Yeah. So walk us. So you guys are going to start the season. I don't even know where you're going to have training camp, but so every day after school you're going to have to bus somewhere to practice.
Yes, sir. We're going to bus right after practice. I believe practicing probably starting that like right after school. So as soon as the school bell rings, we're on the bus heading to the facility that we're going to be practicing it at.
So how frustrating is that? You have this killer team, and you don't have a home field, and you don't have a field to practice on.
Me personally, I was very devastated because it's my senior year, and I love Lincoln High School, and I really wanted to play on that field. For my parents, for the whole community, actually. So I was most definitely devastated. I know my teammates were devastated as well. All the ones I've been with all 4 years of Lincoln High School. So it is a very devastating thing. I really wish the circumstances were different, but I understand the field has to be done.
And on top of that, you can't even get a scrimmage in camp. That's the crazy part to me because, and no disrespect, but you guys don't have any resources like a private school or like modern day up north or these schools. No disrespect, you guys really don't have a lot of depth this year, and your line's really not that big. I don't know what people are really scared of, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously you're going to lose, but I mean, you guys aren't going to lose. The other team probably lose, but it's still getting work in camp. It's crazy to me that people won't just get work.
I'll tell you what. Watching this kid play and watching this defense play, I'll tell you what. They swarm to the ball like mad hornets, and they hit you. They like contact. That's why no one wants to play them, because it looks like it's going to hurt.
I understand that, but if you get on social media, you get anywhere, and you say, we have all these guys with offers, and everybody wants to play college football, what do they think is going to happen to the next level? You can't. Everybody does it at the next level, and if you want to play in the next level, you have to experience it sometime.
Eugene, you know why I'd want to play with you or play against you, even if it meant it? Because I know everyone's going there to watch you play, and that means they have to watch me at the same time. That's why I would want to play you.
All right, I understand why the center and the right guard don't want to play Lincoln, but because I got to go against him. But
no, I'd rather go against him because God forbid I have a great game.
That's true.
I'm going to get noticed. I mean, does that make sense to you, Eugene?
Yes, sir, it does. And like the thing with us not having a scrimmage at practices, we scrimmage ourselves. Like, when we're only as best as our weakest link, as our coaches always say. So us going head on at practice, full speed always, we're getting our best competition, All
right, I want to ask this because give us a little inside scoop. Who's going to be wearing number 2 this year?
Oh, I already got the answer. You're in the running. You were in the running, were you not?
Yes, sir.
Have they
you and
picked
two
that yet?
other guys.
No, I can't really disclose that at this moment.
I don't know that I better not, because I know who the 3 kids are. There's 3 kids, right?
I don't know.
Well, I know you're considered, obviously, because you're a high character guy and excel. But that's the cool thing about Lincoln is there's a lot of high character guys.
Yes, sir.
So tell us about that, because you have this reputation of being this thug school, but every kid I meet is polite and says sir to me and shakes my hand, makes eye contact. Why is the reputation different than the reality?
It's different than reality. That's just what we're coached upon. Like Coach Carter, Coach Dunn, all the other coaches at Lincoln High School, they want us to meet a certain standard. And it's just always show respect to somebody. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, sir. No, ma'am. Just things like to that nature. It's never no disrespect or something abrupt. And yes, sir, we do have a lot of people who can represent Lincoln High School well, and that's just the main thing. We're number 2. You have to be able to represent Lincoln High School well, and Coach Dunn determined that decision on who wears number 2.
Eugene, I don't know if you remember. I met you when you were a freshman at Southwestern College. Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
And you had no idea who I was, as usual. But it's funny that I watched you then. I watch you now. Your defensive line coach is really good because I watch you and you always, everybody in high school goes like Velcro, they go straight into man. You always attack one side or the other, one hand or the other. You have great leverage. Who's your D-line coach? And what is on that? And what is the Nets Foundation? Tell me what that is.
So our D-line coach is Coach Javier. He's a coach at Lincoln High School. He teaches us the basics, the fundamentals, everything that we really need to know. The Nets Foundation is run by our O-line coach, Coach Ernesto Gonzalez. And the Nets Foundation, it's just a big thing. It stands, it really stands on its own self. It's just basically saying that we are the athletes who are going to get the job done the right way, not the wrong way, not taking shortcuts, anything like that. It's a 5-on-5 thing we do. We go out to see colleges and compete. I believe this year we competed in LA, San Jose. Where else we competed to? Just basically all around California. It wasn't too much out of state this year, but it gives us an opportunity, like I was saying before, to see other places in California and be able to get the competition that we want to have. So we get the competition to have more results on our craft, and it betters us at the end of the day.
All right. Does the name Aaron Donald mean anything to you?
Yes, sir, it does.
Is it too? Listen, I don't want to put any expectation, but kind of unconventional size Eugene is. Does he kind of remind you of like an Aaron Donald type?
Yeah, and we talked about it because Aaron Donald went to Pitt where I went, and I remember because we still follow recruiting, he was like a 2-star. He had no power of 5 offers. Pitt was the only one. He had like a Toledo and another one, but if you saw him back then, and he was probably 220, I would say, and not tall, but. Is it all? Because I know you must come through there, and everybody has to talk about height. And it's like, oh, if you were 2 inches taller, you'd have 18,000 offers, but you're not. But you still make the same plays. Does it really? Does it really matter at some point?
In the other coaches' eyes, it does matter. To me, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna get the job done regardless. No matter who you face me against, I'm gonna get the job done for you. I think coaches kind of overlook that because I am an undersized D lineman. They look for 6 foot and up. But it's at the end of the day, it's really okay. I know that I'm gonna do my job and I'm gonna get the job done for any team I play with. In that case.
Well, we were talking about. It looks like it hurts to play Lincoln. It looks like it hurts to play against you, especially in pursuit, because I know it's a trite phrase, but he has a good motor. The John Randall type that doesn't ever shut down. Dude, you make some of your biggest plays, even when the guy's 6 or 7 yards downfield. Your pursuit is such. You never shut it down, and where did that come from?
I'm not even gonna lie to you, sir. It just came naturally. Going to high school, Coach Carter, Coach Dunn always say, "Oh, you're going on varsity. You have a very high motor." I think I play with like a chip on my shoulder. Me being how small I am, I know like I gotta go the extra mile to do things. So that's where the extra motor comes from. It comes from me wanting to get after on every play. I'm gonna give you 110% on every play that I do.
I can tell you where it comes from.
Where?
Being around football on, any kid that has a 4.33 is going to have a high motor because that's just the way they are. In academics and community service and football, that's just the way they are.
And it doesn't begin to tell his story because Eugene, I'm sorry, I did a little research, so I don't want to sound like I was perving on you or something here, but I found out like you had a job before school, that you raised your own money for Hawaii and offered to pay for your own. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I started working at McDonald's. Actually, that was my sophomore year my sophomore year. I worked at McDonald's, my junior year. I forgot what year it was. My sophomore year. I worked at McDonald's, and generally, I got the job to get money for a car because I'm willing to drive, forever. And, I take the bus to school and other places like that. So I think it's time for me to have my own car. The money ended up going to, some money went to Hawaii and some money went to, my savings. But initially I got the job for me to be able to get the car. I worked for McDonald's for, I think, about 6 months. And then I just like leaving it alone.
What's your favorite McDonald's burger?
I didn't really eat from there. I'm not gonna lie to you, sir. But I do sometimes. I get like little McChickens though. They're really good.
That's good discipline because I go by, my car steers into every McDonald's. I take my hands off the wheel. The car automatically goes into the drive-thru. I can't tell you how many little hamburgers I've eaten in my life. Thousands. But when you work there, is it harder to eat there?
Not really, no. Like the food's just all there. Like, just me being around it, I didn't really want to eat it like that. Just seeing how all the stuff was made and stuff like that. So I wasn't really trying to indulge in all that.
So you paid for your own trip to Hawaii. What was that experience like?
The Hawaii experience, it was like wonderful. I'm not going to lie to you, sir. Just going out there, seeing like all the views and all the other historic stuff there. It was a nice little experience. The flight was wonderful. We got to the beautiful hotel in I believe it's Hawaii. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it was there. The hotel was nice. It was like right outside the hotel was like just a nice, beautiful view. And then our coach Ernesto Gonzalez, took me and some of my other linemen to the other side of the island, where it's like a cliff you can jump off of into the water. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a good swimmer, but the waves were just taking me all the way away. It was just crazy.
Wait, you went in the water in Hawaii? That's where all the sharks are. You could not drag me in the water in Hawaii.
That was before they were.
Oh, no. It was beautiful. Like the water was just crystal clear, and like I was saying, like we jumped down from like I think like it was like I want to say like maybe a 200-foot drop into the water from like this like really high cliff. Me and Lyman, we all jumped down there and had to swim back to the beach. We did it like 14, 15 times.
Man,
Wow.
Eugene, where'd you play youth football at?
Balboa Raiders, sir.
Balboa. Did you have any thoughts of going to Morse?
No, sir. It was never more. No, sir. Growing up, I went to Roosevelt Middle School actually with Isaiah Jackson Pablo. Mm-hmm. And that's where we met at middle school at. And then one day he came to me and was like, "You want to play football?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to play football," And then we got in contact with his father, and that's how I started playing with the Balboa Raiders. I only played 1 year with them actually. So I've only been playing tackle football for I think 5 years now, maybe 6 years.
Yeah, that's the crazy part because two of the best D linemen I've seen in San Diego was Jaquil Bradford at Hoover and you, and neither one of you played youth football.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, sir.
Yeah, and you're both considered undersized, and neither one of you played youth football.
Yes, sir.
I want to get back to of the three people in this conversation, you're easily the best. I mean, just your
person overall.
Yeah, yes, you come in first place. I'm second. Bert's third. So I'm curious. Who do you thank for that? I know you mentioned Coach Carter and Coach Dunn, but tell I want to know about the adults in your life and how you got to be like you are.
Yes, sir. Most definitely, my mom and my father. They all been in my life. Throughout all our struggles, they always make sure that I respect others, and I'm always doing the right thing, never the wrong thing. And coming to Lincoln High School, I've always had that demeanor, that maturity of just be above everybody else. And Coach Dunn and Coach Carter made me realize that more. So I became more respectful and more of a better student and an athlete. But my mom, and she's always been on me from day one that I had to excel in the classroom. And my dad, he's the same way, but his is more football than the classroom. But, I kind of get the both of both worlds when it comes to my parents.
So what's the best advice they've ever gave you?
The best advice that I would say that my mom has given me is to never backtrack. And I thought that really sticks with me. It's basically saying, don't ever go back to the old you. Keep what's the word I'm looking for? Keep going on, keep progressing. So I always stick with that. I don't ever want to just fall back or backtrack, as my mom would say. I want to keep on progressing and keep getting better.
All right, Eugene, we have one question, because I know we're wrapping up soon.
Okay.
You look at your schedule this year. I know you have all these crazy LA teams, and what's the one, when the schedule comes out, what's the one game you all circle and you want to play this year?
I'm going to bet Cathedral.
The next game. Whatever game's the next game, that's what we're going to play. The next opponent that we're going to play. Every week is somebody new, and we're all going to be prepared for it. So the next game is the best game. I'm going to get my best effort on it, always.
He is the best person in this conversation.
No,
I think I'm two. I'm not going to say that, but I'm not going to argue one.
Let's just say
I won't argue
it's a
one.
tie for third. But yeah, that Cathedral game, now that they've beefed up by taking on half the Saints roster, that's going to be an interesting game, will it not?
Most definitely it will. I'm very excited to play them people again. I'm not really worried about it, as I would say, but again, next game's the best game.
All right, fair enough. I won't. Can you tell us about the Lincoln High School experience, what it means to represent the Hive?
Yeah, so my Lincoln High School experience has been actually very great. Coming in as a freshman, I had people like Kendall Williams, Jaleel Thorne, Jaleel Tucker, in that class. They always taught me, it's a standard at looking to be the best, and we never really settle for less. So going on, and from my freshman year to my senior year, I've seen that I progressed a lot, and I would say that I meet that standard now. I've been giving my 100% throughout the whole way, and now I'm ready to give 170%.
Wow. Well, listen, young man, you got to promise we're going to do this again. I got to go to a sales call, so I got to call this a conversation. We'll let you get about your thing. But before you do, I need a favor from you. Take down my email address. It's prudy@kusi.com. prudy@kusi.com. RUDY is the last name. prudy@kusi.com. I need you to send me as many pictures as you can, as quickly as you can. Stuff of it in Hawaii. If you got stuff in your McDonald's uniform, I want to see that. No, but seriously, and any action shots that you have that you own that I can use on this podcast that won't get me sued, okay?
Yes, sir, I got you.
And then if you've got any huddle video that you could send me, a couple plays here and there, please do that as well. But family shots, I want to see your mom and dad. And if you can send me 10, 15 pictures, I'd greatly appreciate it, okay?
Sir, I got you.
And do it now, because I'm going to work on this podcast after I go to the sales luncheon. So,
yes, sir.
Young man, I want to shake your hand when Bert and I will be doing a Lincoln game at some point, and I'm going to come up and I promise you that this is not the last podcast you're going to do with us, because as we get closer to your college decision, we'll do another one, okay?
Yes, sir, most definitely.
In the meantime, PPR Podcast number 173, Bert, is over. Turn off the machines.
Thank you, Eugene.
Yes, sir, thank you.